Okay, we're on air. How's everybody doing? Good morning. It's morning for me. I'm on Eastern time, afternoon, evening, if that's what it is for you. I just got off a really great mastermind, really powerful conversation on just the imbalance of men and women leadership and the dynamics around that. It's been great. So anyway, we hopped right off of that onto this. We don't have Kat with us quite yet, but I know that she's on her way. She was here and she had no odd. There she is. We're on air, Kat. Can you hear me? Oh, we can't hear you. Oh, she fell off again. She'll figure it out, and she'll be with us. So last call, we went over what our community calls the 5 things that leaders do. And I'm currently writing an ebook on it. But I look at it as just daily habits, 5 daily habits that anybody can implement in their lives to help with their progress into the life that they're looking for. Really what it is based around reprogramming ourselves, our mindsets for the life that we want to live, and not identifying with those false beliefs of self-worth and that inner child, that holds us back because of the beliefs that we've held on to our entire lives. So the first one is visualization or meditation. Now it's different for everybody, but this call, we just want to go over and discuss the importance of it. And a lot of the time, it's common for people to not to do this. I think there's a few reasons. One being just because it's uncomfortable. It's just not comfortable, and when you truly do it. And when I say visualization, I'm not talking about having a vision board, although that's amazing and it's part of it if it's utilized. But a lot of people, when in regards to like The Secret or the law of attraction, it's not really what my focus is being positive and picturing the things you want and knowing the things you want. That is just the surface of visualization. Underneath that, it's important to connect your emotion and make sure that what you want and what it is you're going for in your life is truly what you want. Intrinsically, it's based on your values and your purpose in life, and in line with that. And that's what gives it the power to manifest through reprogramming our beliefs, our thoughts, our mind, our subconscious mind, into causing us to think and act the way we're required to reach our goals and to live the life that we want to live. And now this is right down to the relationship that we want to have, the person that we want to spend our life with as a partner. Just one second. I think I'm getting a message from Kat. I just want to make sure that. No, she's still working on it. So, anyway, it is our beliefs. It is our self-worth of what we believe, what we're worth, and what we're capable of. And it is the way we think that causes our behavior, and it's our behavior, our decisions, that creates the life that we're living today. So no matter what circumstances, and I'm not talking about third world countries, I'm talking about the privilege of being born in a country of freedom, the privilege of whether we were raised in a poor family or a wealthy family, in a positive family or a negative family, or whatever it might be, all the dynamics of where we get our programming and where that inner child comes from. Regardless of that, we all have the power to program ourselves to reach the life we want to reach and to live the life that we want to live. And I believe that all this starts with visualization and being in line with what we truly want and our purpose. So we can't just want to receive. We need to have a purpose that includes a bigger picture than ourselves. And often that starts with people. The bigger picture is their family. So I think I can hear you, Kat.
Hello?
Hello? Yes, we got you. So I was just talking about the importance of visualization and what it means to me beyond the law of attraction and vision boards. Just that, like, that's the surface, but I'm just going what it means to me at a deeper level. So what I was saying is, for a lot of people, the bigger picture is their family, their children. For, you know, the man who provides, it's his wife and his kids, and the home that they have, and so forth, so on and so forth. That's where we usually start when we are visualizing the life that we want to live and the things that we want. And that is very, very powerful if that is truly how we feel, what our purpose is in life. If we are emotionally attached to that, then that's where we need to put our focus outside of ourselves. So, you know, often materialistic things and our bank accounts and stuff will drive us, but it's only going to drive us for so long. We're only going to be able to really have those visions come true for so long. And eventually, if they're not in line with our purpose of serving other people and being of service, or having a bigger purpose outside of just ourselves, there will be a wall eventually that will be hit. Because true fulfillment is when we serve and when we love. Because as humans, that is our purpose. Our purpose is to love and serve, and each other. We all, you know, we all have a place and gifts and talents and so on and so forth that others need. And I truly believe that. That's just my opinion. My opinion, but I think it's right. Just kidding. So anyway, when it comes to visualization or meditation, I am putting the focus on really being emotionally attached, being very, very specific to what we want, being aware of whether our ego is driving us towards that or our true selves are driving us towards that. A lot of people, you know, like the secret law of attraction's bullshit and all this stuff, and oh, I have a vision board, I have for years and it's never worked, and you hear these things, but it's not enough. You have to go deep inside, and when you do your visualization on a daily basis, it's uncomfortable. It's not easy to do. It gets easier, it gets more comfortable as we start to really move towards what we want. And I do believe that when you start visualization every day, you will find yourself visualizing and putting yourself in a spot that doesn't truly fulfill you, that, you know, you want it, but you can't really, it can't bring you to tears. It can't drive you so hard that you will do anything to achieve it. You're going to experience that, because it takes time to find out what we really truly want in our lives, the lives that we live. So having said that, how does someone who doesn't visualize every day do this? Where do you start? What's the first step? And I am going to share with you guys what the value that Kat and I have been given through the community and our mentors, and that is figuring out what the perfect day for you looks like, and putting aside your lacking. So when you figure out exactly what your day looks like from the moment you open your eyes until the moment you close your eyes, without the barriers of time, without the barriers of money, if those didn't exist at all, what would you do in your day that truly put a smile on your face, that made you jump out of bed every morning, really grateful for this day, really grateful for the day? You have a hard time sleeping because you don't want to waste time and you can't wait for the next day to happen and to come. What is that? What does that day look like? And it goes right down to the detail of, you know, like I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is meditate, and I have a meditation room where it's peaceful, and I have my music and I have my incense and I have, you know, my pillow, and what really puts me into the state of my intention for the day, like that. I have that in my ideal day because that's very important to me. I have an hour in the morning with no expectation at all. I don't have anybody expecting me to be here or do this or anything like that. And that might include me getting up an hour early, but it's worth it. It's not a burden or anything like that. So I suggest, if you are someone who doesn't visualize yet, to maybe put aside the specific goals and focus on the life that you visualize yourself living. So that day that's going to drive you, your ideal day without restriction or limitation. What does that look like for you? It could be one paragraph long, and it could be a book long. You know, it's up to you, and it's going to continually change as you grow. The more you practice this, it's going to continually change, and you will see how that happens within you. And the absolute, like, for people who really have a hard time believing in, you know, manifestation and the universe bringing to us what we want, the like nitty gritty, the science or whatever it might be, is our brains are computers, and we have the power to reprogram them to align them with the life that we want to live or the purpose that we want to serve. So when I don't know, Kat, maybe I'll talk to you. Well, it's another, I'll stay on track. So yeah, it's starting with your ideal day and understanding that feeling this and emotionally attaching yourself to it is helping you reprogram those beliefs of what you can and can't do, what you can and can't have, the limitations that you set for yourselves, the walls that you put up for yourself, because we all do it. With that inner child, right, we've had experiences that have held us back. And once you start to really visualize and start to train your mind to what you want, be clear, this is what I want, then our thoughts and our behaviors start to change and align themselves on that path. Yes, opportunity will start coming to you. Why is that? Because you start making different decisions. You start thinking differently. You start putting different intention. You start attracting different energy. And that is what helps you manifest what you want. So yeah, that being said, I think that it would be a very powerful exercise to write down with every single little detail the emotions that you feel, the experience that you have, your senses in those in the day. Like when you wake up in the morning, what does your room smell like? Maybe you have a window open and you live in the country and you can smell that air. Whatever it might be, those little tiny details is what will really connect and align every part of your brain to get onto the same path of what you're looking for in life.
Yeah, just with me, you look so beautiful. Yes, just like to say, there's an echo. Turn your volume off or something, maybe for now. Great. Yes, thank you, Brittany. Yeah, I used to. This was always changing for me. I'd had a bit of a problem with this. I always have, you know, I can always project myself and see myself in doing whatever I want to do, and then it was like, oh, my ideal day, and I would really panic not be able to do it. So as Brittany says, you know, I did I was very fortunate, and I lived some years in the tropics on the Bahamas. Well, it was several months, sorry, not years. You see my mind, it was like years, but it was only about a year. And yes, during sometimes in the beginning of the mosquito season, you just have 3 bites and your arm you'd be unable to move your arm in the beginnings because you're not used to this sort of sensation. And so I often, you know, wake up with this paradisiac view. And there are, of course, no mosquitoes on this island that I live in, obviously, but this is a conscious effort I have to do. You know, I have to think, oh, yeah, no, I get rid of the mosquitoes because it's my day. It's how I want to be. But maybe in the beginning, you know, to make sure you're really feeling that, I did need to see the bumps on my arms and to, you know, have scratching. No, I can't scratch. And this sort of brings all your emotions to the fact you couldn't scratch and how you felt when the sand was rubbing on it. And oh God, and you got out to sea and it was like, oh my God, but you were still in an idyllic scenery, you know, and this was very funny. And so I use those sort of, sometimes you have to use sort of negative, well, it's not really negative, but really sort of not so nice emotions. You know, you sort of sit there thinking, oh yes, I was just, you know, totally bronzed and all this. But in the beginning, it wasn't quite like that. you did have to go through the sunburns and, you know, the mosquito bites before, you know, you could then spend the rest of the time watching other people go through this. As I was working for Club Med, and as, you know, people coming every week, like, oh yeah, you'll need this for this, that, and you need that for the mosquito bites. You know, you could just help other people, and that was, you know, that was one of the core values, was like helping other people, going, oh yeah, get this is the best thing. So that was one thing. And also sometimes, you know, certain smells will immediately transport you to some place in your childhood, or a lovely vacation, or, you know, something. So sometimes it's, you know, good to just sit there when you're writing your this perfect day and think, well, what was that smell, you know, and try and just transport yourself, you know, nicely. I mean, some of my ideal days spent, you know, I wake up, and as Brittany says, she has a meditation room. I had this lovely little patio, you know, where I can hear the beach and golden sand or pink sand, and I'm there, you know, and immediately I'm transported, and there's a lovely little breeze, and sometimes it's dusk, and anyway. And then the rest of my day, I can be in the English countryside, you know, I can just go for lunch and have a walk in, you know. So your ideal day can really be wherever, you know, you want to be. It doesn't have to be like, okay, so I leave the office and I do that. Well, if you want to leave the office and take a helicopter to your house, then, you know, do that for right now. It's got to be your ideal day. And you've got to have all these sort of wild ideas, and the wilder you are, the better it is, because you're sort of learning to stretch your emotions, you know, to travel and to find this within yourself, to how can I grab all these things to make me really, you know, hone in into what is my ideal day. Because in the beginning we all imagine, yeah, well, I want a, you know, a Ferrari outside, just take the kids to school, and then you're like, well, it's a 5-minute drive, do I really need a Ferrari? Maybe I'd be better in a, you know, a Lamborghini, or, you know, maybe a little sports car, a little Mercedes where I can wind down the thing, and, you know, it doesn't really matter. Or, you know, you find out that in fact your hair gets quite whipped in this lovely car, so how am I going to tie my hair up? Do I just do that? You know, these little details make it so much more fun, you know, than just, oh, law of attraction, I'm just going to walk into my bank account, it's going to be amazing. That can start like that, yeah, but how do you feel when you're walking into the bank account? What clothes are you wearing? Are you wearing high heels? Are you wearing little boots? Is it sunny? Is it, you know, doesn't matter what you're imagining, but you've really got to hone in, as Brittany was so well saying, was just every single step of the way. What are you wearing? Any jewelry? Is your hair tied? Are you you wearing makeup? Is that lovely perfume? Or how does that make you feel? And then sometimes you can just go into the store and put on that lovely perfume, and immediately when you smell it, you're transported to taking that lovely fat check that you've got in your little handbag. You know, you're taking it there just with a little smell. So, you know, maybe you buy that perfume, so every morning when you put it on, you're off to the bank in your mind. And these are little things that we can do every day that sound very, you know, yeah, hokey pokey sort of, yeah, sure, right, yeah. But I've heard all this from, you know, all my acquaintances, I can say now, they're not really friends, all my acquaintances, and they're just laughing at me. But at the end of the day, they're not going to the bank with $1 million in their pocket, are they? I am. So it doesn't really matter, you know. And you've got to maybe make it a secret world for now until you feel very comfortable, or maybe share it, you know. Sometimes I talk to the kids about it, and we're like, you know, they add in a little bit. So it can be a fun family thing, or it can be a very, you know, private thing for you. But whatever it is that you need to maybe listen to a certain music to help you write, or, you know, sorry, we could go on and on, but the end of the day is to just, when you visualize, you're literally, you can hear yourself walking. I know that I had this walking to the bank, and I could hear my certain shoes, you know, doing walking as I walked into the office, and how people would just, you know, oh, so happy to see me, and I'd be very humble, and, you know, you don't have to, or big wig or whatever, but, you know, that's for you to decide. But it was a lovely feeling. Just talking about it, I'd forgotten about that, you see, because I moved on. But just talking about that, I'm really happy, and I know that today or tomorrow I will go and get some of that perfume sprayed on me, just to have that lovely memory again, you know. So whatever it is for you, sorry, I'll let you get back on. Come on, Brittany, chime in. You're muted. You're muted.
Okay. No, yeah, you're good. No, it's bang on. Like, I'll share briefly my ideal day with you guys. It's just very short. Well, like, not every detail. I'm not going to read it. But for me, my ideal day is I wake up in the morning, and my room is on the second floor. I have a balcony, and it's a log house. So my balcony is big logs, not perfect, just logs. And I look out onto a pasture, and I have 3 horses, and they're just grazing. It's morning. The sun's not quite up yet, so it's like a perfect, you can't see all the detail, but you know it's there. And I brush my teeth, blah, 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 I shower, and then I go into my meditation room and I meditate. After I meditate, I go downstairs into my home gym and I work out. Now, I picture my house to be just a beautiful log home, and it's not massive. It used to be massive. When I first did my ideal day, it was huge, you know, like 12-foot ceilings, but I don't feel that anymore. I don't feel that need anymore. I picture it as a part bungalow, but also, anyway, I won't get into detail. It's a beautiful log home, not too big, not too small. Go into my home gym, I work out. And after my workout, I go and I wake my son up. We make breakfast together from the produce and stuff from our garden. And we eat. And he's off to a different room in the house, which doesn't really have a name, but it's an educational room for him because he does his education's at home. It's either him and I working on it together, or I have a hired teacher. So if it's on a subject or something that I'm not good at, then I have the resources for my son to get the best education. And this was a choice that him and I made together for him to not actually go to public school every day. Then I get into my vehicle, and I don't have a specific vehicle. It's not something that I visualize myself personally, but a lot of you will. That's something at the beginning that I did visualize. And so anyway, I get into my vehicle and I go, it's about a 30-minute drive to my gym that I own. And it's a family gym. So it's there's a child's section, but it's a daycare for parents to work out, but it's also a gym. So the kids are also working out, and it's not like what you would picture, but it is different ways of exercise and stuff. And it's a gym that I've created that's very affordable for everybody. It's not very expensive, and it's to encourage the next generation to be physically active every day. And so whatever has to happen there to allow that to happen for families and even underprivileged families who can't afford to go to the gym or whatever, I have programs to help them come anyways. That's something that's very meaningful and purposeful to me, so that drives me. But I picture myself going into the gym and meeting with my staff. Every morning I bring them not a full lunch, but a snack for that afternoon, something that I've made the night before, something really healthy. And I give that to them. We have a discussion. They are all leaders. All my staff I put it in their hands, and they take care of things, and they make decisions, and I just overlook and encourage, and it's really them that makes the beauty happen in the gym, is the staff. And so after that, I go home and I have lunch with my son. We go for a trail ride through beautiful scenery somewhere in Alberta, Canada, because I love it, southern Alberta. And we go along a creek, we stop and either have a snack or have a drink of water and discuss how our morning went in detail, how we felt, what we learned, what we, are planning on for afterwards, for the afternoon or whatever. We go back home. So this could go on right until I go to sleep, which is basically the same. I meditate before I go to sleep. But I don't want to go too long. But that's just a quick overview idea of what your ideal could look like. And I heard an ideal day, like the perfect day, from someone who aspired to be a singer. And her day was like what Kat was saying. It was just magical. Like the things that happened in her day were, people would be like, no way, that would never happen. But that is what drove her. That is what got her going and motivated her, because that's what she aspired to. And everything's possible, right? So, and the ideal day, I know, is only the starting point for your visualization. You want to do also specific goals in the future. Once, like Kat said, you're stretching your comfort zone and your emotions and getting into that, getting used to thinking that way and feeling that way, because we've grown up to be realistic, and that is what makes us mediocre. And it's not the people who are living the life, it's there's no difference between them and us. It's just that they believe that what they want, they can get. And it's because it's true. What you want, you can get. And visualization as a daily routine, implemented on a daily basis, no matter what, with like, no matter what, every single day you take time to do your visualization, write out your ideal day and read it to yourself, and then close your eyes and experience it, and do that every day. And this will manifest into whatever it's supposed to manifest into, whether it's you doing that with specific goals, getting more specific on what you want in certain aspects of your life, what you want to achieve next month, 3 months down the road, and you'll start to get really comfortable with visualization. And as you get more comfortable with it, you will see its manifestation and how it really helps your mindset and your behavior and your thoughts. And
I would just like to add here, right intersection, if I may, that you can't, although it's your ideal day and all this is, you've got to visualize it. I'm going through I'm going through a divorce, so I personally don't see a man in my life right now, but I have room for him should I want to. I have that space there. Sometimes I just want a hug. That's, I think, the thing I miss most is the hugs. And so, yes, the kids can only provide so much. And I noticed you, Brittany, you're only with your son. I mean, you might have more kids, who knows? So you've got to leave the space.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or, you can't have such a, it's never closed. And that's why an ideal day does evolve.
That's right.
Saying, before she had a huge house, and I was thinking, oh great, she's going to fill it with lots of kids, and then she made it smaller. So you see how different people are. So every ideal day will go as as it is for you, but never always know that it will evolve. And sometimes for some unknown reason, overnight it might change. And I can't say that, and you're like, so you might just want to sit and think about why you can't just say that particular thing at the moment. I know that I don't like to be structured, I find that very, I just suffocate. But I'm learning that, every time I have been structured and my days have been planned, my business just takes off, doesn't it? So I have found a person within the community that's, putting together this program about structuring days, and so we just hit it off together, and we're he's coaching me and stuff, and it's something I just lapse out because I find I'm too stifling, and I'm going back in. So it's the same with your ideal day, but I think the main thing with visualization is that there's certain emotions that will never change, and the fact I need to be hugged because I am a human being and we're just being, that is somewhere always sort of in the back of my mind, even though. So there's certain emotions that you can just tie with, sometimes I'll go to bed and that'll just be a little hugging session with her, I don't know. It might just be the dog, So, but I just think some days when I do need a hug more than others, that I don't know, they just appear. So I guess intrinsically I've just left those sort of doors open, and I really wanted to interject here because I think you might be missing this, darling, or your ideal day. So do leave those doors open also.
Yeah, perfect. This is a perfect actually example what Kat's bringing up, because when I first started in this company, in this community, my ideal day was very different. I had a husband, and my evening was magical. And so this is a perfect example of how things change, because right now, the reason my ideal day is that way is because that's what I need. Right now I need independence, and that's what empowers me the most. But Kat is absolutely correct. That will evolve as I gain that independence and I start to feel that I have achieved it and I am happy at where I am. Then I know that I am the person that is capable of giving another person what they require for a really, really meaningful relationship, because I am like Kat. There is that in the back of my mind that is absolutely vital and that I'm excited to have, yeah, it's a perfect example of how your ideal day evolves, because to me, my first ideal day when I first started back in September 2015, the day looked a lot alike, except I had a spouse in it. And some might feel, even I have had the feelings, even though I know the truth about myself, is that I have taken steps back because my ideal day today doesn't involve that relationship. I may feel a little bit like I've gone backwards. But in fact, the truth is, because I've been so empowered and I've found who I am and who I'm driving to be, I'm so excited to become that person for my future relationship. I'm so excited to be that person so that I can attract that person, you know? So yeah, that's I'm really glad you brought that up, Kat, because it's very, very true. You know, you need to be able to feel it and believe it. Like Kat says, like some days she needs a hug more than other days, and she'll feel that when she does her visualization. And so that is another good example of not being. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it, because you really have to feel it. You know what you want, but don't overthink it. Write it in pencil, not in pen, you know? Really good point, Kat. Very good point.
Oh, you laid the groundwork. I just, you know.
Yeah, we just got off, like I was saying, we got off a really interesting call. That the conversation was really interesting. Maybe we'll bring it here once we get through the 5 habits. We'll see. But so we just literally got off that call and moved right into this one. So it's been quite the insightful morning.
Midday, I don't know, it's evening for me now.
Right. It's morning for me, and I am starving. So we are at 30 minutes in now, 32 minutes in. So we will close her down and see you all again next week. And we'll still be going over the 5 habits. We'll just do the next one. So any questions, anything like that, please send them our way, because I think it's a very, very important step. And so if you have any struggles around it, any questions around it, then step out of the comfort zone and reach out. So yeah, that's all. Any closing words, Kat? You're good? Okay, perfect. So love you all, and we will see you all again next Monday. Bye for now.